Hello, welcome again to the Political Empire for PE.com and the Press Enterprise. I'm John Bender, Politics Editor. Today I'm talking with Jim Miller in Sacramento. Jim, tell us how the 31st State Senate District race is going.
Hey, John. Yeah, this is one of the redrawn Senate seats that is on the ballot this year. It goes from Corona out through Riverside and down into Moreno Valley and Paris. And this is one of the most competitive districts in the state. The outcome here could determine whether Democrats reach a two-thirds majority, supermajority in the Senate, and reaching that threshold would allow them to increase taxes and take other actions without any, or essentially be able to bypass Republicans on all issues.
Jim, tell us about the candidates. Who are they?
Sure. Just going to say, Democrat Richard Roth, who's a Riverside businessman. He's an attorney. And then you have Republican Jeff Miller, who's a state assemblyman from Corona.
And have they been talking about important issues here, or how's the campaign gone?
Well, as you may remember, the primary before the June election, the primary campaign leading up to the June election was quite contentious. Lots of spending by outside independent expenditure groups. So it's been going hot and heavy for several months now, and it's only going to increase. Both sides have the full support of their respective political parties and various groups that are allied with the parties, and it's been rough, and I think it's only going to get rougher. I mean, like you were saying there, the issues maybe are not getting as full an airing as they might, as some voters wish. There's been an awful lot of TV ads, some of them on both sides that are.
What kind of charges are they making about each other?
Well, from the Republican standpoint, they have kind of been focusing on the idea that if Roth wins, Democrats will have free rein in Sacramento. Roth says if he's elected, he'll be his own man, and he's not going to vote for taxes just because someone tells him to.
And they were linking Roth with Jerry Brown, weren't they?
Well, Jerry Brown, Darrell Steinberg, the president pro tem, basically anyone who might be unpopular.
So Roth has presented himself as a moderate, and the advertising against him has tried to paint him as a radical liberal, free-spending Democrat. Is that right?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, in the primary, and I'm not going to get too into the weeds here of kind of a spy versus spy thing that was going on in the primary, but you had business groups calling Roth a Bush Democrat, and implying he was too conservative to Democratic voters. It was kind of got almost complicated to get it straight in the head, but that's what was going on. Now that we're past the primary, yes, there's more of maybe an attempt by Republicans to paint Roth as liberal and in lockstep with public employee unions, Darrell Steinberg, and other Democratic interests.
So how are the Democrats and Roth supporters painting Jeff Miller?
Well, he's too conservative. He's former chairman of the Republican Party, that he's from the Party of No in Sacramento. He wouldn't do what's right for the voters of the 31st Senate District. And that's kind of the level of the dialogue that's been going on.
Jim, one last question. The registration in that newly drawn district, what does it lean?
Well, and that's a good point. It's always been very evenly matched, but Democrats had a registration edge. But in the last few weeks, Republicans are now the dominant registration in the district. By a few thousand voters, so not very many. But the Republican Party has done a big registration effort in those areas of the 31st Senate District. Some Democrats contend that some of those voters may not really know that they were registered as Republicans and maybe didn't know what was happening to them when they signed a petition or something outside of a Target store.
Well, Jim, thank you for your insight.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
For the Press Enterprise and PE.com, I'm John Bender.